welcome. How's it going? Hope y'all had a good weekend. I don't really have much of a plan for what I'm gonna work on today. Last week we were working on some bug fixing and some project reorganization and stuff. We have some bugs that are kind of annoying. And we were working on our style reference board and made it so we can load from one level to another. Couple of things that we don't have working. There isn't a way to make things stay persistent in between scenes, so that's something that that we should do. There's a few different ways to handle that, but I think to start off, I'm gonna make a script, and it's gonna be called Game State Manager. And we're gonna add it as a global. And we're gonna put it up to the top. Let's see. I guess a simple way to do this is let's see. Have a function called get state, and it'll take a variant and it'll return a variant. I don't know if this is possible. Just have it return null for now. Actually, hold on. Let's say we'll have an export var pool states, and it's gonna be an array, or no, a dictionary type string. Okay, I think this is one of those things where typed dictionaries don't exist in this version of Godot. Thank you for the floof. How's it going, Fulbaka? I'm just gonna put a comment here that's gonna say it's string bool. I'm doing all right. I had a pretty chill weekend. Didn't do a whole lot. Okay, so I guess we can like we can define it here actually. Nice. It's a very good game. So let's go to our treasure chest. So we're gonna have a export var chest ID, maybe a string. We're gonna say thunk ready. Say game state manager dot say is open to state manager dot key. No, we want get, not funds. And then here we can say game state manager dot real estate dot So now we can say game state manager, we have just outdoor 1 open, we have indoor 1 and indoor 2. Chest. All right. So now open the chest. Scene. And we don't actually have any code that's going to play the animation or like set the animation state. But okay, still let us open it. Let me see. Remote. game state manager. Just we have a game state manager, we have our dictionary. So we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, that didn't set it, but if I set it, if I manually set it to true here. Okay, now I can't open it because it's already been opened. So it's partially working. Why is it? It's just not behaving the way that I want. Okay, let's try a slightly different approach. Let's say func get full state ID will turn let's say yeah, I will have to do that. Okay, so we return full eight. There we go. And then that bool state string bool void state Alright. I think that'll work, because I think what part of the problem is if you access it from outside this, it's just passing a reference and not actually letting you so let's try this now in our treasure chest script. Say get state, and then set bool state e Stephen, and then player dot play open. So it might be a little bit funky because the chest will like be opening as the scene is starting, but I think it'll work. It did not work. I guess we could do let's see. Get or add ID. Plus. just to interesting. So the set function does not exist in 4.3, it's only in 4.4. Yeah, this, I had it before, should work. This is the same as using the bracket operator. Could do what I wanted to do. Alright, so let's look at the remote scene. We got our game statement. Open our chest. And it didn't set. Yeah, I don't care that I broke that. Okay, that worked. So I'm not sure why the set isn't working. Just outdoor one open, and then game state manager. Just gonna copy and paste it to make sure they're the same. They should be. Why is that not working? We can say if as e do that. else? Here. So why didn't that work? Did it work? Oh, I think I might have an idea as to why it's not. Let's see. So export value happen after ready. Okay, so this is just an idea, but if I make it so it's not an export, does that work? My thought is, it being an export, it might be like the export might be overriding that already. But no, it's the set that's not working. It's not the read. Oh. Oh. It's setting it to false. Why am I setting it to false? I'm silly. Chest. Yeah, is open doesn't get set until after the animation's done. I'm silly. Oh, you can maybe tell that it's been a while since I've messed with these scripts. All right, this should work now. Let's open. Thanks for the hydrate. Open the chests. And look at that, it's open already. Cool. I can't open it again. Okay, so there are some other things that we should make persistent, like player health. But that might be something that we want to move to making the player an auto load so it's not in every scene. What else can we do? So we want the treasure chests to we don't want to have them like be playing when we're loading them. We just want it to like snap to the last frame. Let's see, is there a way to do that? We could do that. There's not a huge downside aside from if I want to, like if I were to have a different chest that had a different animation, I would have to make a separate open, like pre-opened animation for that, which again, not a huge deal, but I think there's a way to, let's see, so we can do there should be there should be a way to get the length of a specific animation clip. Maybe. current animation length. No, it doesn't need the name of the animation. I should probably also make it so this bombable wall is persistent. So I blow that up and then come back. It should stay blown up. I couldn't quite tell if that actually animated. Yeah, that one's already open. Cool. So now we have like persistence inside of a session. We're not actually like saving. No, it did. Maybe it did play. So it's not actually saving to a file. That these are open, but that's something we can do later. So like another thing we might want to be persistent is like if we pull this block onto this switch, we might want that to stay. We might want this enemy to stay dead if we kill it. Yeah, let's make the bombable wall persistent, and well, I guess we'll also make the player health persistent for now. So here we can say star bool has been destroyed. So we can just make this an already. We can have an export var. We'll have a full ready function because we want to automatically destroy it if it has been destroyed. So we'll say has been destroyed. To games manager dot get wall ID, and then we'll say if it's been destroyed, destroy, and then in this destroy function we'll say state manager dot that bool state through the wall ID. There we go. Cool. Wall stayed bombed. Cool. Very good. So I'm gonna make a note about persistent data. Let's see. Okay, I don't currently have anything in the backlog for persistent data. I'm just gonna move this to using array of tools keys, string keys, could potentially change resources. Send this to current board. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is in testing. I didn't actually do the pause player input during transition, but that's not super important for right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete it. We can clean it up later. We also want to have a save and load system. So we want this to talk to game state manager. Save state file and code. Start or when so I think I'm gonna use the Godot has a JSON serialization thing built into it, so what I'm probably gonna do is I'm just gonna pass the dictionaries of states into a JSON file and then save that to disk. So the way that they talk about doing it in this thing in the documentation, it doesn't cover exactly what I want to be able to do, because this kind of assumes you only have one scene, or like each scene has its own save file or something. But you know, I have things that need to persist across multiple scenes, and so I think just being cognizant of like what things need to be persistent and adding them to the game state manager makes the most sense. But I might need to think more about that for the future. And there is also the binary serialization, but JSON spits out like a human readable file, where the binary serialization doesn't. But binary serialization can handle built-in data types like vectors and colors and stuff. So like if I need to save a vector 3, like the player's position or something, I'll have to like save like x equals this, y equals this, z equals this into the file, or I guess I could just have like a node that that is the position. Yeah, they kind of show how to do it there. So yeah, I've done some save and load stuff before in the past, so I kind of know what I'm doing. Yeah, Godot also has like a config file that you can save, but the config file is better for things like, you know, player settings and stuff like that, or like stuff that might not even necessarily be player specific, but like game specific things like resolution and graphics settings and stuff like that. But yeah, I do need to build like at some point I need to build a settings menu and title screen and stuff like that, a save and load screen. But yeah, I appreciate that they have as much stuff as they do on saving games, and they even have a demo project that you can look at. Unity was kind of just like, yeah, you'll probably want to have your own system for saving games and figure it out on your own. But Godot's like, now here's how we recommend doing it. And there's also so if I was using resources instead of like a game state manager, so like I have where's where did I put that data? Yeah. So like I have this chest contents data here that's a custom resource. So one thing that I could do is like make a resource that it's kind of just like a container for like atomic state type stuff, so I could be like you know, chest outdoor 1 as a resource, and that way that would keep it persistent in a session, and then you can save resources, but that's not really the best way to do it. I like having a JSON file because it gives you like everything all in one place, and you know, if it's got the variables named and stuff, you can like manually edit the save. Like I'm not building a competitive game or anything super serious, so I don't really care if people like mess with the save and give themselves tons of health and stuff like that if they want. I may or may not have done that with Undertale in one of my playthroughs. Went in and modified the save file and gave myself a bunch of items that I shouldn't have had more than one of. Yeah, exactly. Plus, again, that's one of those things where it's like, I like it when games let you mess with the stuff in the game because it lets you learn about how they made it. And I learned a lot about games just by like opening up the files and messing around with them. I remember back in the day, my brother and I were playing Tribes 2, and we figured out we could like open up the textures in MS Paint and like make our own custom textures. They were like only local, so if we were playing online and stuff, it would like, you know, the textures would only show up on my machine or my brother's machine, but not the other players. I know, right? I'm bad. This was like just like a fun like replay through the game. It wasn't my first playthrough. But I did all the endings in Undertale, so yeah, it was fun. It's a good video game. I'm kind of running out of steam, so I might wrap up in a bit here. I feel like this was fairly productive. I didn't have a plan, and now I have like persistent data from scene to scene, so that's cool. I have been doing some like behind the scenes like scheduling and stuff, trying to figure out how to get this game made into a real thing. And that's kind of slow going and also not interesting to do on stream because I have a bunch of post-it notes with dates written on them and I'm moving them around and stuff. Try to figure out what my goals for the project and stuff are. I came up with a list of let's see. It's in the design model. Came up with some overall goals for the project. It's kind of funny, like releasing a commercial game, it's on there, but it's pretty close to the bottom of the list of goals because it's not as important as some of these other ones, like growing my skills as a developer and finding an audience of like-minded people that want to play this kind of game and want to play more games by me in the future. Creating a game by myself from scratch and sharing the development process, those are like very important to me, more important than making any money. And then ideally by the end of this I want to have a set of tools and processes for making other games, and hopefully they won't take as long because I can reuse some of the stuff that I've already built. It's part of why I'm trying to make stuff as modular as possible. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it. So thank you for hanging out while I work. I should be back on Thursday with more game dev stuff. I think we're gonna go ahead and raid Barry. He's doing a Majora's Mask randomizer. Yay, thank you. Yeah, let's go say hi to Barry while he Majora's some masks. Have a good rest of your week. See you on Thursday.